Hello there, and welcome to PostGrid. Today, I'll be going over our dashboard system, and I'll be showing you a step-by-step process on how to create letters with us. And of course, if you have any further requirements or details that you'd like to address our team here, you can always reach out to us online through our website and just submit a form and schedule an appointment. But essentially, going over the system here, we do have the overview page on the left side. Now, once you sign up to the dashboard, this is by default the first page that would pop up. This page is very simple and easy to understand. It just shows a day-to-day report on your letters, postcards, or checks that were either mailed out in the past week or the past month. There are no daily minimums or maximums when it comes to mailing with PostGrid. You're only limited to your monthly volume depending on the plans that you have purchased. Now, what I will be getting into is the analytics page, which is essentially a step-by-step status update of your orders depending on the collateral type, which could be letters, postcards, as well as checks. Now, when it comes to letters, the ready status just indicates that the orders are ready and they can be previewed or canceled on an on-demand basis. Now, there is a cutoff time as to when the orders move from the ready stage into the printing stage, and that time is 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. So if you place your orders, say 3 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, you have until 12 midnight to review the order and cancel it before it moves into the printing stage, as we do not guarantee cancellations once the order has been routed to our printer. Now, in the printing stage, it takes a full business day for your order to print with us, and then once completed on the second business day, it will be moved into the processed stage. Now, what this stage essentially means is that our print partners are collecting your mailings, basically to drop them off into a USPS facility. Now, once they have been dropped off there, it will be marked as a completed status. Now, what this means essentially is that the orders have not yet been delivered. They've just been dropped off to USPS facilities for processing, and then they will be handling the delivery for you. But basically, the analytics page indicates what our service level agreement is, which is essentially that we have fulfilled the orders for you. Now, once with USPS on first class postage, it takes an estimated time of between 1 to 4 business days to deliver your mailing. Moving on into the resource section, we do have our contacts. Now, you do have the ability to create a single contact one by one individually, or if you'd like, you do have the option to upload the contacts, and we do have a sample CSV file, which we highly recommend to follow as per our guidelines. Now, just to show you an example of what that sample file would look like, it would look something like this. We do have our description all the way up to the country code. Now, these are by standard the default information for that contact information you were to upload. Now, of course, these can also be used as merge variables. And the great thing about our software is that you do have the ability also to include some of your own custom merge variables, which I'll get into more detail in just a few moments. But essentially, you do have the option to fill in the blanks there according to your requirements. And the really key information we're looking for is essentially the first name field, address line 1, as well as the country code. Now, just to show you an example of how do we go about using this CSV file, and of course its custom variables that I've added here, and how you can customize your letter according to these contacts. Now, once we head over back into the system, I can go about creating my template directly from there. Once I hit create the template, you do have the option to put in a little description for your reference, but also if you'd like, you can create this using raw HTML. But just for this demonstration purposes, I will be showing the template builder and how that process works. So we can type in a description saying example letter going to the US. Now, once I hit create, I can select the collateral destination, which would be the United States, and the type, which would be a letter. Now, this template editor will show you the design guideline for your 8.5 by 11 mailing, and it does come in with a few little neat tricks here and there. You do have the ability to use some of the stock photos that we have available. And of course, you can search up something more specific to your industry. So let's say real estate. As you can see there, we do have some stock available photos for you to use from, or if you don't want to use that option, you could also upload images of your own. We accept PNG file formats as well as JPEG. Now, just for demonstration purposes, I will be using some random stock photo that we have available here, and I'm going to be placing it around the address stamp region. And the reason for that is because any content or any images I put over the address stamp region will essentially be covered by that indicia area, because that's basically the sender and the recipient address. So when we fold the letter into a standard double windowed envelope, it will be visible through these windows. And then of course I can work around this template and create as many pages as required by simply clicking the add new page from there. And if I would like to duplicate the page as well. We do have some other filtering options like the positioning of the image, the transparency, and of course if you want to duplicate some elements, add some effects, flip the image, fit to the background, or even cropping it. Now, when it comes to these merge variables, as I was mentioning earlier, it's as easy as creating a body text, and you do also have the option to upload some of your photos, but for now, we're just going to stick to the default options available. So if I were to call on the merge variable information, let's say for Susan as well as Kevin, I would be using the first name merge variable, and maybe I want to reference something as to the date, for example. So how would I go about doing this? We have multiple options to do that, and it comes with its own specific formatting as well. And I'll show you where to get that shortly. Now, I can type up something like dear, and of course, this is our formatting for a merge variable, a double curly brace on either side with the variable name in the middle. So since I will be sending this mailing to Susan as well as Kevin, I would put in this default information, to dot, and then their first name. Now, the syntax of this first name can be found in the contact section in the raw data information of the contact profile, but I'll show you other options that are available. So I can say dear to dot first name, which essentially is going to the individual, and then I can go about writing something of my own. Now, notice how I mentioned the merge variable of date there. Date is essentially a custom variable field that I have added to my CSV file, and I filled in with some information. So it will be referencing this date to this first name, as well as this date to this first name. Now, once I save the template and I get a status notification here, I can head back. And the great thing about this editor is we also convert the templates you create into HTML for further editing from that standpoint. Moving on, since I have my CSV list as well as my template ready, now I can create my orders. And keep in mind, everything that I'm doing here is in test mode. So essentially, test mode is a safe sandbox environment that lets me play around with the system and simulate these orders without actually placing them. So once I hit create a letter, and of course, I would need to download that CSV file before I upload it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Uploading that file. And as you can see, it's already capturing these 4 contacts. Once I hit upload from there, the option to individualize it to a single contact is removed. And now all that's left is to put a return address for that letter. Now, you do also have some other options as well. You can maybe put in a description for the mailings if you're doing multiple campaigns, or if you'd like, you do have some extra services like adding return envelopes, certified mailing or certified return receipt, or even registered mailing for further tracking. And finally, different postage types: first class, standard, and of course, our standard envelope types are double window, but we do have essentially flat mailer options, which are out of stock at the moment, but they will be in stock shortly. Now, when it comes to the template, again, we have two options for you: either uploading a PDF directly or just using the template that we just created. And as you can see, it's already capturing these variable information fields. First name is capturing Susan based on that CSV file as the first contact, and it will be capturing all the other informations here. Now, if you do notice, for some of the contacts here, I have not put in information, or let's say I didn't put for any of them, and I did reference that in the field, what I can essentially do is just add them in manually if needed. But for testing purposes, I'll just stick with what I have. So if I choose a color insert for the letter, maybe I'll double-sided printing, or if I would do like to insert a blank page just for the address, so that way I can have the second page as a full edit letter to work from. And you do have other features and options as well, like a perforation for a detachment section on the bottom third, or even express delivery options if you want to reduce the delivery times. Now, once I hit create, and as you can see, since we're specifying this only for US and international, which would be Canada, the system will automatically detect if any letters are destined for different countries. So now, since I do have Canada as well as Great Britain, what I can essentially do is just remove these two there and stick with my US mailings. So it's as easy as repeating this process over and over again, but once you get the hang of it, there's really not much else to do. So now I'm going to go back and repeat that same process, but with my newly uploaded file, which is just two contacts, specifying a random test contact for the return address, using the template we created, and specifying in color. And once I hit create, everything should be good to go. Now, the great thing about this is if I head back into the letters, I can already see them in the ready stage. And I can, of course, since it's in test mode, progress that kind of order just to see what it would look like based on the analytics. So as you can see, we have one in ready, one in printing. But going back to these letters, I want to make sure, of course, before they get into the printing stage, that they do look appropriate and the template is how I want it to be. Now, this is why we have the view PDF option, which is simply to allow you to get a preview of what that mailing would look like. So as you can see there, it's already inputting the stamp region for the sender address as well as the recipient. The logo image there, or the image that you'd want to use, and the merge variables mentioning Kevin, as well as that date similar to that CSV file. Now, since I'm doing this in test mode, that's not a problem. If I like everything how it's going from that point, what I essentially would do is just recreate the same steps and processes that I've made in test mode, but in live mode. And of course, that's when the orders will be going out. Last thing to touch on as well is those merge variable syntaxes. Now, how do you get them when it's first name uppercase N in that regards? It's as easy as viewing them in the raw data section there. So as you can see there, first name is referred to like that, specifically from the contact information. The metadata section is actually referring to those custom variable fields that we added, which is irrelevant in this case. If I want to specify something directly from the contact information, maybe I want to input the company name or perhaps even the phone number of the contact. That's not a problem at all. It's as easy as using the same variable of curly braces, two dot with the phone number written like that. Now, you may be wondering, how will I be sure that the mailing is going to a deliverable address? And that is a great question. So we also do address verification internally on your orders before we send out the mailings. And we want to make sure that we minimize any return orders that are being sent. So as you can see in test mode, it will always show the status and make it appear as verified, which is the indication there. But if it does come back as failed, you will be notified as to what the error was. Maybe it was missing a suite number, maybe it was missing the country code itself. Now, there is a third option as well, or a status, which is corrected. Corrected essentially means that the address was missing some information. It could have been the city, or the postal code, or even the zip plus 4. Now, what we do is not only enrich the information and correct these missing data points, but of course, we let you know what the address error was to begin with. So corrected essentially means the addresses have been verified and corrected from our end, and at the same time, they have been ensured as deliverable. Now, you may be wondering, do I have to put in address line 1 all in one line, or can I space them out? Well, you can do both. The only difference is if you were to add the address line 1 information and you don't want to put in, for example, based on the file, if you don't want to space them out like that, you would essentially put the address line 1 separated by commas like so. Finally, when it comes to the settings of those addresses and their verified statuses, you do have the option to set up a strictness level. So what this essentially means is that I can have the ability to only send out to verified addresses, regardless of the corrected or failed status. This ensures 100% deliverability. The next status, which is corrected. This is by default from our end setup because a corrected status means that it is also verified and it also encompasses verified addresses that will be mailed. Finally is the failed option. What this essentially allows you to do is to bypass the entire system of the order and basically send out to all the mailing addresses regardless of their status. So it could be failed, it could be corrected, it could be verified. Regardless, send out the orders. And it's as easy as selecting the option I would like and then saving the changes. Now, the last thing when it comes to the API, you do have two options. We also provide you with a test key and a live key. So you can set up this entire integration from an API standpoint in test mode first before you actually create these orders. And if everything is good to go from the API perspective, all that would need to be done is to replace the test key with its live key. And now the orders will be going out.